The only reason why you would say something like this is to attract negative commentary and then go, oh, mad bro, your butt bootstraps. These people are not living in the same dimension that we are anymore. And I don't know that they ever fucking did. Best economy ever. We're winning in Iran. We destroyed all their military except this military. So we need more money so we can win the war again and again and again and again. And by the way, Iran's going to have a nuke in 4 weeks. And we've been hearing that line for the last 50 years. Any day now, they're going to have a nuke. Any day now. Any day now. Any day now. We got to stop them. We got to stop them before they get to nukes.
But the yellow cake is
a dream, and we need to protect it with all we got.
Is it laziness?
A little.
There's nothing left to protect, lady. The thing that you're talking about that we should protect, we didn't protect it. That's why we're here now and people are struggling, because we did not protect the thing that created the American dream. We didn't protect our currency. We turned it into paper and we devaluated it by about 98% over the last 100 years. All of our jobs, all of the meaningful manufacturing, the meaningful majority of the manufacturing got shipped over to China and Mexico and Pakistan and India. And then it wasn't bad enough to outsource shit overseas. We also had to import labor here so we could pay them less than Americans here and have all the corporations get together and cartelize these wages. The expectation, the bar has been lowered. And you wonder why people are complaining about current conditions. I can't imagine why people aren't motivated to pull themselves up by the bootstraps that keep breaking. This is like boomer talking point Twitter 101. All of the stereotypes in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go. Cut. Perfect. It doesn't even need edits.
House has advocated so strongly for school choice across the country. We want kids to be.
You don't know anything about this. You have nothing but choice. You are a multi-millionaire. You want to talk about school choice? The world is your choice. You could go to anywhere, put your kids through any school, anywhere. No one will say no to you. So I actually understand why these people put their kids through specialized schools. But the problem is that breeds this like bubble boy syndrome where they're in their own alternate dimension. And unfortunately, it breeds more people like the ones that we're looking before us right now, space aliens that are so wildly disconnected from the average everyday American struggles that they actually believe the farts coming out of their mouth are good ideas that people should actually resonate with. And the only people who are going to resonate with this shit are people who are high on the hog like you are. That's it.
Matt Walsh tweets something that is obviously true. He tweets this. He tweets, grocery prices are insane. They're still rising. Addressing this problem should be the number one priority of every elected leader. End the stupid foreign wars and focus on this issue. It's one of the main reasons socialists are gaining power. Fact. Okay? Like, duh. And we recognize that. We have just unlimited money when it comes to going to war, unlimited money when it comes to Ukraine, billions to Israel. We can just go, woo, let's go to the Hormuz Strait. And then when you wonder if we're going to get any tax refund, no, we don't have any money. We look at our prices around here. Nothing is getting better. And people are rightfully upset about that. So obviously the issue is that he mentioned the foreign wars and the neocons instantly had to get to work and explain this is not true. And actually their argument is that people just need to focus on making home cooked meals. They need to stop eating out and recognize that you're just spoiled. If you are a person who thinks that their things are not affordable, it's because you're spoiled. We need our wars, but you're spoiled. Joel Berry, who I don't.
We're spoiled with being able to afford things like, I don't know, food.
And they're anxious for good reason. I was raised in a household when the price of gasoline rose precipitously. It was the discussion at the table. It made a difference when food prices went up. But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas. Unemployment rate is near historic lows. Millions of Americans are
what?
moving up to better jobs.
Whoa. What did he say? Can I even replay that? That sounded like something I should edit out almost.
Every once in a while, something you learn makes you viscerally angry. Like if you had the...
Really? Really? Please tell me more.
There's more than one way to solve this problem. We're continuing working to bring down food prices and gas prices.
We're continuing to working to bring the prices down on the fuel to get there around the Black Sea. It makes about as much sense as Trump does nowadays. So, in retrospect, hindsight's 2020. I got to look back on this and smile and say, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, really. Pretty much the same shit, just different word salad that we were being fed as to the reasons why we're doing the insane shit that we're doing.
Nuclear.
Raising the school, democracy every generation has to protect it. I have to admit to you, I never thought that it was going to be
There
this.
you go. You
never thought. Yes, indeed.
So telling.
So I saw this being shared around X earlier today, and I just had to repost it. Just a little, what's the opposite of a palate cleanser? Treacle? Palate treacle?
I guess so.
I don't know. The world used to be so cool.
Yeah.
Let me full screen this so people can actually see it, because that's
Red
not
box.
full. Red box. You remember the good old days? All of 20 years ago, before America started to suck all the time, every day.
Yeah,
The channel name on X is called Nostalgia, apropos N64 Avatar. Pizza Hut. Oh, it's the red cups, man. The Kodak, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
Boys are us, man.
GameStop. They forgot to throw Electronics Boutique in there, but I'll forgive that for now. Chuck E. Cheese, Toys R Us, before Pirate Equity came in and gutted them. Thank you, Freddie Smith, for that documentary with the redhead. Worth a link. Pretty sure that's in the Money Games playlist still.
Dark Knight.
Harry Potter. He's a man.
Yeah. Now, I'm sitting here looking at, I've got 6 rolls of Zen.
Yeah, the world now.
Your use a monster about now.
Your pharmacy bag. Like I said, I'm on my 4th energy drink. Actually, I didn't open it yet. I should not have another one, and I realized that. But I'm probably going to before this evening is over, because I just, I was going to call this the overclocked stream, because that's what I feel like I'm running on. My CPU is constantly just fucking 3% overclock minimum, or however many that these things do to me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't hit my microphone. That's how I fucked up my last one. Caffeine, nicotine, and
check engine light.
The check engine light perpetually on. Yes.
Everybody I know has one of those right now.
Douchebags driving Teslas, causing fucking mayhem with they don't even realize they're driving around literally the surveillance state on wheels. DoorDash. Yeah, $40 for a burger.
Yeah.
Zillow, $1.2 million for a home. For a basic 3-bed, 2-bath. 1,800 square foot. Wow, that's in Texas too. Yeah, so that's accurate.
Well, that's true. So
Austin, Texas. Yeah, okay. Klarna paying for.
Yeah.
You know what you notice with all these stores too that are down here? They're all empty. Look, Forever 21 boarded up. the crema coffee place, there's no one there. No one's ordering because they can't afford the $20 coffees.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, now when you go to the grocery store, you're also an employee de facto because you have to check yourself out.
Yeah. But you don't get paid for that.
And here's your coffin apartments behind the Amazon boxes where you get to pay, $2,000 a month to live in a shoebox where you can hear your neighbor breathing heavily through the walls.
I used to live there. I used to
This is
drink
the-
heavily too.
This is the world that we live in now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's that the story went around, I guess, last week about the $20 burrito, and that
Oh, yeah.
number one, I don't know any place that has a $20 burrito. And number two, I don't know anybody that's got $20 for burritos.
Well, I mean, that's if you get the combo, I'm guessing. But it's going to be like $15 more realistically. But still, you might as well at that point round it up to $20.
Well, I mean, and if you have to pay you're going to pay tax, but
Mm-hmm. And if
depending
you
on
got a
where
tip,
you're at, yeah, if you're paying a tip, you're knocking it out of the $20 range. I, I don't know, man. Most of the people I know are eating beans and rice. We're lucky if we get tortillas, So
I just had an unexpected vehicle maintenance issue pop up this week out of nowhere. No warning. Bam. 500 bones down the drain.
sure.
And I know it won't be the last. That the check engine light thing. Yep, that's been with me for like a decade now. I can't fix it. I don't have the money for it. And I sure as fuck can't afford a replacement vehicle.
I got my buddy's car right now, and I had to ask him the first day. I'm like, dude, do you know your check engine light's on? Oh yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're trying to. They're using the same language they did for World War II. Or at least trying to present that image. I don't know why you would want to do that, but I think they're just trying to prep the American people, mentally. Like this is some kind of preconditioning for that.
We've said what for 3 months now, boots on the ground.
This has been going on, though. I mean, let me see if I can fish that Patrick Clausen bit. But we've been doing special operations stuff in Iran for like 20 years at least.
Well,
I think it'd be shorter to make a list of all the people that wouldn't. Mainly us. Yeah. The American people are not going to benefit from it, not even indirectly. And I've heard people try to justify this. Oh, it'll bring oil prices down, and that's probably true. That's probably true in the long term, but in the short term, we're going to get bent over a barrel, pun intended.
Yeah.
And even that it's only going to reduce energy costs. And we've seen what energy cost reduction does to the price of everything else, which is nothing. Because these companies, the food companies in particular, what these companies are doing is they are stockpiling resources, our money, because they see an inevitable crash coming and they want to extract as much from the markets while they can. As long as they feel that there's an implosion coming, and there's no reason not to feel like there isn't one coming, the prices aren't ever coming down on anything. Yeah. Ever. The only way that that's going to happen is if they actually try for deflation. And I don't think they're going to do that.
I've seen that one time in the 70s, and that really didn't go over. So
the reason why the prices aren't coming down is because these corporations are scared for their own long-term survival.
Well, a lot of them are already out of business. I mean, they're losing their shirts on everything. So,
and they want reserves for the massive buyouts when a lot of these companies start going belly up. More consolidation.
These CEOs are making humongous. They got millions of dollars increase in their salaries in the last 2 years, while their employees are getting $1 maybe a year. Well, how does that justify? How does that work out? The CEOs are the ones that are making all the money. The elites, the ones that already have money, are making money. Those that don't have money, like us, are losing our friggin' shirts. And I don't know how this is going to end. It's not going to end well, I can tell you that. already see a lot of people that are having to struggle. And I think when you start pushing people in a corner, they become animals, and it's going to get bad. It's way overreaching, and their prices are way too high.
Well, according to the guest that I think it was Alex Aguera, the guest Kyle Seraphin had on today, was talking about the Mexican cartel using the Canadian border to traffic people in from our north, from the great up north, because the Canadian American border is so much more porous than the southern border. So
and it has been, and that's been an ongoing problem since the 80s, really. So I mean, I don't see that really being fixed anytime soon. What we've been concerned with is everybody coming from South America, all those Latin countries south of the border, and that has been typically a problem. But what they don't talk about is all the Chinese and the North Koreans and the Russians and the Ukrainians and all the Europeans and all the Muslims that are coming in through the southern border as well. The cartels are actually taking severe advantage of those individuals to the tune of thousands and thousands of dollars. So, and they take their money and they put them in an unrefrigerated locker and traffic them across the border, and then just park the truck somewhere and don't let them out.
Axel uploaded finally onto the YouTubes. So let's get into our rotation here.
Okay.
This is from Financial Physics. He just uploaded a new tranche. That's the government likes that word, tranche. I don't know what it means, but we're going to use it here too, because we like using government-approved vocabulary.
We do?
Yes. Yes, we do. Where's the button?
Based on what? Based on what? I was expecting him to say based on the price.
Well, actually, as of today, it's $205 an hour, and that's based on the gold standard. I've been pretty clear about this, like in hundreds of other videos. I mean, you could have bothered to just do a little bit of research. It wouldn't have taken you much. It's not like I'm hard to find over on Birdsite. There's like a whole thing about it. But to answer your question, yeah, at the federal level, and that's because dollars, that Ponzi scheme, that Fiat Ponzi scheme that has no intrinsic or mathematical value to it whatsoever, $40 trillion of endless debt, and the unknown number of trillions of dollars of unfunded liabilities, which is just more debt, but we don't count it. Yeah, that's how that works. The math, if you want me to break it down for you, it's pretty simple. You take 1971, which, by the way, the minimum wage was increased from $1.45 in 1970. And then it was $1.30 in 1969, and so on, because there had been about roughly 15% annualized inflation due to all the guns and butter of the Vietnam War and everything else, all the vote buying that the Johnson administration was doing. So, yeah, they had to abandon the gold standard because they were going to just run a giant Ponzi scheme, and they pushed that off on everybody else. And so that's why you have a bunch of people now who can't afford anything, and why their currency is garbage. But the math works like this. 40-hour work week at $1.60 an hour comes to about 1.83 ounces of gold at the time, at $35 an ounce. You take 1.83 times 4,500 a day, divided by 40, you get about $205 an hour. I hope that helps you. Yeah, and one more thing.
I'm trying to think of something to interject here, but yeah. He's broken this down multiple times. No matter how many times you break it down, people don't get it.
It's still the same math.
Research.
It doesn't math. Okay, I don't math, but that math doesn't math. It just doesn't make sense that we went off the gold standard and I mean, do we have gold anymore? They said they saw it, but you got proof?
Now, he's using gold as a measure of value to calculate how much buying power was stolen from the American people, particularly the working class. His math sounds absurd because the amount of buying power that was stolen from us over the years is absurd.
I know.
but people don't know this stuff. And the problem was, except for that short stretch of time right there, and I think a lot of the folks around your age were like strung out on drugs and rock and roll.
Well, we were. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man.
But things were still relatively affordable back in those days.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could get I could get a gallon of gas for 75 cents. And a pack of cigarettes for 50 cents. But yeah, I mean, I remember when it went to $1 a pack, and we're doing $2 a gallon, and that wasn't it was hard, but it wasn't that bad. But now you're talking about $8 for a pack of cigarettes, and that's the cheap ones, and $10 for our name brand. And $4 or $5 a gallon, $8 a gallon in California, or $10 a gallon, depending on where you go. And you were talking about inflation. I see the prices of groceries increasing, just creeping a little bit at a time. Where in less than 6 months, what used to be $100 grocery tab is now $300 in 6 months. It's almost triple, and I don't know how. This is not going to come down. It's not going to change. We're stuck with the prices that we have now, and there's no accounting with salaries. So
middle of last week, I went to the store and I picked up 4 jugs of 1 gallon of water, a 32-ounce can of mixed nut, and a 24-pack of Coke. Cost me $40.
Yeah.
Plus tax. That wasn't even a grocery run. That was just snacks and water.
Even the cheap sodas now are $10 for a 24-pack.
Yeah, and one more thing. CPI and Bureau of Labor Statistics, those things are all lies. Those are all put up by the same government, printing the currency to worthlessness. So why would I take that for have any kind of value at all? I mean, you can look at a regular real economy, which is just people out here. And as far as minimum wage itself is concerned, if you're going to have a fiat garbage Ponzi scheme like the US dollar, then yeah, you have to have a minimum wage. Or you can go back to hard currency. But I have a feeling that most people are far more socialist than they will ever admit to being so, because they know in a hard currency environment, the men who do all the work make all the money. Period.
Yeah.
When we You know what? This Freddie Smith one's been sitting in the archive for a while. I think we're going to do this one next too.
Okay.
But he's 100% right. The reason why we have the Ponzi scheme of the fiat money is to strip money away from the working class and hand it to the unproductive class. That's why. This is so we create something called velocity of money, which was sold to us by the Keynesian economic guys as something that's good. But velocity of money is only really good when it goes towards productive ends. Well, who determines what ends are productive?
Yeah.
In my book, a productive end would be something that increases, manufacturing or agriculture or scientific endeavors or infrastructure or defense when it's needed for actual defense.
We don't do any of those. When we haven't since the 80s. Manufacturing's been outsourced. Infrastructure's been outsourced. We have infrastructure, but it's so dilapidated. It's ridiculous. Defense.
When we hear that the boomer generation pulled the ladder up behind them, here's what we mean. The boomers' parents and grandparents in the late 1930s decided to pass Social Security. So the boomer generation was the first generation that was inherited this social program where they knew going to work, they were going to have some form of retirement through the government and the collective. Then in 1956, they decided to build the interstate highways. 41,000 miles of interstate highways was given to the boomer generation, and most of it was covered by the federal government. Then in 1965, they were given Medicare. So they knew when they retired that they were going to have health insurance. Medicaid was also passed around that time. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, housing was affordable. It wasn't looked at as an asset like it is today. It was just a thing that people were able to buy. And then you created the NIMBY mindset, not in my backyard. You got houses and then created zoning regulations and didn't want affordable housing coming in your neighborhoods to prop up your value. In college in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when the boomers were in college, it was $300 a year, maybe up to $2,000 a year for state public schools. And as soon as the boomers graduated college, the administration at the time says, you know what, this college thing is not a public good, it's a private luxury. Let's put the burden on the family and on the students. And that led to $1.8 trillion of debt. And now we've had this much growth in 50 years, and we look around. Did our generation get any programs? Did we get free college, free healthcare, respectable paid maternity and paternity leave? Did we get a 4-day work week? We don't have high-speed rails. Yet, the silent generation and boomer generation leadership got us $40 trillion in debt. The only thing that has changed is we have given all the power to the corporations, not the people. We greenlit stock buybacks. We switched from pensions to 401ks. We allowed the dominance of private equity and leverage buyouts. We allowed super PACs to happen and racked up $40 trillion. It is not the individual boomer's fault who's watching this. We do not think that you maliciously voted to screw over your children's generation. We're asking for the accountability now. These are not predictions. We're looking in the past. There's proof. Please help us. How was your parents and grandparents able to provide things for you to make your life easier, and you guys aren't reciprocating and doing the same thing for us? That's our complaint. Work with us, please.
Oh, do you hear that? That's all the deaf ears that are turning. I don't think it's correct to put the onus upon the boomers either. The damage is been done. But it might be receive some acknowledgement and addressing of the real problem that's caused this situation, which is the fiat money.
I have a problem with his figure here. The boomer generation did not leave you 40 trillion in debt. This has happened the last couple of administrations.
Yes.
And it's really been on the Trumpster. Has nothing to do with the boomer generation. These are the administrations making really bad decisions about policy that have put us into this this debt that we're not ever going to get out of. And a lot of the problem, we allowed China to buy bonds, and we really went through that. What was it, 2002, 2008? The banks too big to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Went through all of that crap. That had nothing to do with the boomers. Now, granted, a lot of those boomers were CEOs of banks. They were involved with that, but those are the elites. Those are not the guys on a pub jack or a drilling rig somewhere.
Yeah.
These guys are trying just to make their car payment. They had nothing to do with this, putting us in 40 trillion in debt. These are the idiots that are running the government. Sorry.
Well, there's some misattribution going on here, and you're correct on the Trump angle, but there's a caveat on that, which is that the way that fiat money works, the way that our fractional reserve banking system works, this type of debt tends to compound and snowball.
Yeah.
So when the further that we go past deficit into deficit spending, rather, the further we go into deficit spending, the more rapidly that the debt accumulates. And that is why under the Trump administration 1 and 2, we're in a second administration now, that we had the snowball effect that went up by something like 20 trillion or something like that. I forget. I think when Obama got out, it was 16 trillion.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like between 12 and 16 trillion. And of course, we had Biden between his two terms.
24.
And basically, the Biden administration did absolutely zero to fix anything. They handed out stimmy checks like it was candy. No money at all went towards infrastructure or market growth or bringing jobs back to America, manufacturing back to America, wrapping up our involvement in the Middle East. Ironically enough, one of Biden's perceived worst gaffes, pulling out of the Middle East, is something that we should have done decades ago, but he went about it in the most bungled, worst possible way.
The highways are they're terrible. Because the cost of repairing those highways has gotten so expensive. We can't do that. And I don't know. It would be good if we were able to put people to work, actually working on those highways. Number one, people don't want to do that kind of job anymore. And number two, we can't afford the costs of actually repairing anything. It's prohibitive, and we're now in a throwaway civilization where everything has got built-in obsolescence. It's planned to fail at a certain point, and you have to buy a new one, and that's just the way the system works. We're in a loop that we can't get out of, and I don't see this changing anytime soon. Sorry.
That's all right, man.
It's old man syndrome, dude. Just
I
get off
don't-
my lawn, man.
I really don't think so. I think what this is just people that have a memory of, when things were better before and are asking the question of why can't things be like they were before? And we're not receiving honest answers, just like we don't receive honest answers on anything. The Charlie Kirk thing that we've been covering is just the latest example of that. It's not an isolated incident. I mean, just
No.
before the Kirk thing happened, we had the Epstein files. And before that, we had, and I'm not even supposed to say the name. You're supposed to say island files or whatever. We were just going over the list of things you're not supposed to say. And
yeah.
Well, it's too bad. People are talking about this. I don't know what you think that governing the language is going to achieve here.
Wait, are you still talking about him?
Yeah, we're still talking about it. I mean, we're only talking about the worst crimes that man can commit against man.
By the way, did you notice they dropped a new stash of UFO files? 2 weeks ago?
No, and I don't care because it's
They
all
dropped
bullshit.
them, and everybody went, "Oh, fuck it."
Yeah, who cares? Who
You're
cares?
trying to distract us, and it's not going to work this time, okay?
The next drop had better be aliens on the front lawn of the White House. Take me to your leader.
Well, that shit's been going around X quite a bit, but it's all AI, so. Oh, and did you see he's trying to name a ship after him now? Not bad enough. We got to change the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center. We're now naming ships after him. Why? What have you done for me lately?
Well, I heard from the Trumpster that we wanted to turn the Strait of Hormuz into a territory of America now.
Like
Really?
the Gulf of America?
Really? So, strap on your Team America fuck yeah badge.
We've won. How many times? 40 times now?
Yes, if you say it enough, it makes it true. Didn't you know that?
Well, the announcement is the thing. It doesn't have to actually have any weight. It's just we announce it, and so it's good.
Speaking of $20 burritos, because we're on the subject here, Candace actually put this clip out. I haven't watched it yet, but let's take a look.
Reject the evidence of your own eyes and ears was the party's final and most crucial instruction. Is playing out right now on X in the most bizarre way. I cannot with these Zionists. It's unbelievable how far they take these things. Obviously, gas prices and grocery prices are up. I mean, if you've just, just gone outside, been around, this is not something that you can deny. And you certainly are not going to be able to present charts and tell people, no, you're living amazing. Everybody is suffering at the pump. Everybody is.
Except for you. Come on. Let's be honest, Candace. Except for you, especially after last week. Am I right?
The super chats that are coming through and the merch. Yeah, but okay. Whatever.
You made $300,000 in 3 hours.
For what?
In 3
Whip
hours.
some guy's ass.
You made more than Bill Gates.
Well,
okay, maybe not. It was pretty fucking close, though.
That was pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Do you remember under the Biden administration, the Putin tax? Remember that? Remember when they were trying to sell us all the inflation that was happening because of the was actually Putin's fault?
Yeah.
Because of all the billions of dollars in munitions and other and raw cash that we were funneling into the Ukraine psyop, the Ukraine grift.
Oh, but we're not going to talk about the Obama skids of dollars that we're sending to the Middle East.
That actually had a legitimate reason for it. That was frozen Iranian assets.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody wants to talk about that. And every time I bring it up, it just gets suppressed. I'll probably have to edit it out of the final cut of this because it'll get nuked. Yeah, that was repayment of frozen assets.
Assets, yeah. It was still our dollars. They could have been like what Lethal Weapon 3 where they were counterfeit, but you know.
I don't know. Whatever. America can just do things that are illegal, and then we can just change the laws or ignore the laws or make new laws up. Or, when it comes to international stuff like this, you got to refer to Smedley Butler's stuff, War is a Racket, because we behave like the mob, but on multiple continents.
Yeah.
That's all this is. This is a shakedown in the Middle East, is what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. It's a shakedown. Oh, you think this is your strait because it's next to your land?
Because you've been in charge of it for the last, 2,000 years?
Let me whip out my member and show you, and you can member my member.
Just because your cabinet knobs your knob.
We're not allowed to say that, man.
All right. Oh.
That's tomorrow. And that is it for us today.
Suffering when they head to the grocery store. Meat is more expensive. I don't even know why you would try to claim otherwise, outside of just thinking people are really stupid and you can embark.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
They think everybody's stupid.
They think we're dumb. They're hoping that you're too busy working your 5 jobs plus your Uber, DoorDash, and Lyft to even try to make sense out of the scam that's being run down on people. But ultimately, you know what it comes down to? Is nobody fucking cares what your excuse is anymore. And it's going to get to the point where talking is done. Solutions now or problems now. You pick. And it's not going to be up to you or me or Candace or anybody else. People are just going to be done. So how much further do you want to push the American people into austerity measures, which were never warranted in the first place and only exist because the fiat currency has pounded our asses into the dirt? Over a rock in the Middle East for some resources that we don't fucking need. Pop some more flock cameras up so you can mitigate the impending civil war that you know is coming because you're literally organizing the situation which will cause it to come into fruition. Maybe just stop doing all the fucked shit. Maybe just pool resources into things that will develop return of investment here in America. Maybe actually follow through on the deportations, fixing our currency, bringing jobs back here to America, which all of these things, by the way, would increase the national security of this nation. We don't need to be in 197 different countries doing military things with military forces.
Weren't there 20 points that he ran on originally? What happened to those? I'm rubbing off on you a little bit.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature, Mr. Beale, and I won't have it.
It's absolutely where we are. And if you really start looking and digging, you're so amazed at what really has transpired in the last 50, 60 years to put us into that situation. And that's exactly where we are. We don't know it, but we are.
We could fix these problems. without pissing off the entire world.
Why
Two
are we
guys on
so?
the internet could figure this shit out. The guys at the top should be able to as well. Stop
Yeah.
poking the world in the nose and then acting all surprised and offended when the rest of the world gets surprised and offended at the thing that you did, which was obviously offensive and dumb and to the benefit of no one but the shareholders, which we are not among.
Yeah. Well, I
And
think
it's not even
government,
it's not even a question of whether or not we're beneficiaries to these things. We are not. We can see that we are not. And the problem they're having with the millennials is that we're right on the razor's edge of that time period where things were not fucked.
Yeah.
And got to see the
You
time
go.
in between where they became fucked and how they got fucked and how they continue to be fucked by the same behaviors over and over and over and over and over again. And the same fucking lies that they tried pumping into our brains that worked back in the early 2000s. They hate us for our freedoms. We have to get them over here before they come over there, or however that, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. People are going to start thinking some very unhealthy thoughts very soon. And a lot of people already are.
What I'm seeing is the Red Scare. Have you noticed this? McCarthyism is actually coming back. Do you even know McCarthyism?
They're trying to push it, man, but I don't think it's taking. I've heard this
Well,
crap
no, it's
too.
not.
This has been going on. This has been going on for probably like 3 or 4 months now. They did this during the first Trump administration too, or first Trump run as well. The socialists versus the, everybody else thing, and
It was on today giving a speech about communism because he came from Cuba where they have communism and he knows all about it. Okay, that's fine. But we don't have communism in this country. I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. The leftists are not communists. They're socialists if they're anything, and they're not really that anymore. You're putting this boogeyman out there for us to all. We don't need a boogeyman. You guys are the boogeyman now. Hello? Read the room. Do you not see what's happening? There's another nation that's having an issue with popularity because of the things that they're doing to the world. And that's exactly what's happening in this country. You're losing popularity because of what you're doing to the world around you. Read the room.
let me find that Jesse Waters clip.
Americans who don't drink hits a record high. Holy crap. Were we not just talking about that? That's on the news right now. Americans who don't drink hits a record high. Wonder why. I mean, I'm so stressed because of the economy. I've got bills out the wazoo. I've had to make allowances for things I haven't had to make allowances for in 10 years. And I can't, I'm looking at how can I take care of my debt? I've got to get further in debt to take care of what I've got. I can't do that. There we go.
I'm here right now.
Some of these kids, and I call them kids because they're in their they've never had real jobs and they're complaining things are expensive. Yes, things are expensive when you don't have a real job.
Right.
Do you think that's getting traction? Complaining?
Unfortunately, I do, because this generation, my generation, I hate to say it, Gen Z and those younger than me have been raised with just silver spoons in their mouths, just getting everything handed to them. That's not the values this country was built on.
Huh? That sounds like projection to me.
Well, just because your daddy bought you a, $100,000 car. And when I say daddy, I mean husband.
Same thing, really, for these women.
I mean, she's what, 20 or 28 maybe? Her
Yeah.
husband is 63. Come on. I mean, get real.
28. 28 years old.
On meritocracy and hard work, pulling up your sleeves, pulling yourself up from your bootstraps, and achieving.
Oh, no, she did the line. You gotta be kidding me, man.
Nope.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
And that's what they intend. They intend us to all be dumb and not realize what they're telling us is bullshit.
There is no way you could say something like this with a straight face without knowing the public backlash you're going to get for. The only reason why you would say something like this is to attract negative commentary and then go, oh, mad bro, your butter, bootstrap. Fuck you all the way. Get gone.
Wait,
go.
did you say bootstrap or bootstrap?
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. These people are not living in the same dimension that we are anymore. And I don't know that they ever fucking did. Best economy ever. We're winning in Iran. We destroyed all their military except this military. So we need more money so we can win the war again and again and again and again. And by the way, Iran's going to have a nuke in 4 weeks. And we've been hearing that line for the last 50 years. Any day now, they're going to have a nuke. Any day now. Any day now. Any day now. We got to stop them. We got to stop them before they get to nukes.
But the yellow cake is dust. It's yellow cake is dust under a mountain, but we've got to send troops in there to take that out.
Yes.
What?
And Pickaxe Mountain is the new boogeyman spot, which we're going to have to Operation Hammer 2.0, Midnight Hammer 2.0. The mountains where they're hiding the super secret stuff to make the bombs that are never going to be made because they never were making them.
Wait, is this going to be MC Hammer time?
This is not a Solacade story. This is not reality. Not reality. Not reality. This
Can't touch this now. Huh.
I don't even know. It's just these people are taking me off the rails, man. I'm going to the funny farm on a bullet train.
World. Welcome to my world. And I've been seeing this a lot longer than you have, man. That's the bad thing.
Look at the face, the smugnerant face, both of them. Let me play the
American dream, and we need to protect it with all straps and achieve what was built on meritocracy and hard work, pulling up your.
Really, is that how you got to your position? I'm sorry. This is gonna have to get.
No, you can't do that. You can't come down on me and then do the same thing. No, I mean, seriously.
Sorry, I had a frog in my throat.
A Hummer.
Get up on your little 21-inch screen and howl about America and democracy. There is no America. There is no democracy.
I think we just had Okay. Let's hear the ditzy blonde
again.
Some more. She's gonna finish a thought here, I guess. Is that THOT thought? That's how you spell that, right?
Sleeves, pulling yourself up from your bootstraps and achieving the.
I don't think she even owns bootstraps. Do you know that they're made in China too? So they just break. You pull up on them and you got to buy another pair from Amazon.
American dream, and we need to protect it with all we got.
Is it laziness?
A little.
There's nothing left to protect, lady. The thing that you're talking about that we should protect, we didn't protect it. That's why we're here now and people are struggling, because we did not protect the thing that created the American dream. We didn't protect our currency. We turned it into paper and we devaluated it by about 98% over the last 100 years. All of our jobs, all of the meaningful manufacturing, the meaningful majority of the manufacturing got shipped over to China and Mexico and Pakistan and India. And then it wasn't bad enough to outsource shit overseas. We also had to import labor here so we could pay them less than Americans here. and have all the corporations get together and cartelize these wages by putting absurd experience requirements on entry-level jobs so that only the Indian farm jobs where they got their degree from a degree farm could come over here and qualify for it and be willing to get paid the extremely low pay that industry was not accustomed to. And Americans wouldn't take that pay because, for one, they'd gotten used to the pay that actually allowed for the American dream, which you didn't protect because you allowed this shit to happen. And two, because that effect over time creates wage suppression and an expectation that those wages are going to continue into the future. So now the expectation, the bar has been lowered. And you wonder why people are complaining about current conditions. I can't imagine why people aren't motivated to pull themselves up by the bootstraps that keep breaking.
Is it because the professor said country's corrupt, it's evil, and we just need to shake them down?
So it's not? Are you saying it's not? What are we even doing, man? Why is this network still relevant?
And hand money out.
It's laziness and it's the liberal indoctrination. You bring up a great point about our education system. However, I will say a silver lining, so many parents that I talk to across the country are homeschooling, are turning to private education, are turning towards Christian schools across the country because they don't want their children being taught these communist and liberal ideas slammed down their throat. It's why President Trump in the White House.
Is it communist or liberal to say that we're not getting paid enough money to survive in this America, this version of America? Because if it is, I will fly the hammer and sickle flag all day long, because that's where we're at. And unfortunately, there are people who are unironically taking that position because the capitalist alternative does not seem to be addressing their current very real problems. And this type of looking down your nose commentary is not doing the Republican side any fucking favors, man. You will breed nothing but contempt with these talking points. This is like boomer talking point Twitter 101. All of the stereotypes in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Go. Cut. Perfect. It doesn't even need edits.
House has advocated so strongly for school choice across the country. We want kids to be
You don't know anything about this. You have nothing but choice. You are a multi-millionaire. You want to talk about school choice? The world is your choice. You could go to anywhere, put your kids through any school, anywhere. No one will say no to you.
Well, you think she's going to put them in public school?
Fuck no. And by the way, in her case, I wouldn't advise doing it anyways because of how high profile she is.
Yeah.
And most of these people that have, they're high profile individuals, if they're actors, actresses, news people like Jesse Waters is, they don't put their kids through the same school system as we do. And I don't think they should because of how public their parents are. That can screw with a kid's life. So I actually understand why these people put their kids through specialized schools. But the problem is that breeds this like bubble boy syndrome where they're in their own alternate dimension. And unfortunately, it breeds more people like the ones that we're looking before us right now, space aliens that are so wildly disconnected from the average everyday American struggles that they actually believe the farts coming out of their mouth are good ideas that people should actually resonate with. And the only people who are going to resonate with this shit are people who are high on the hog like you are. That's it. Okay, I'm almost at monitor punching level right now, but we're almost through this.
love our country. They should. It is the greatest country in the history of the world.
Why? Okay, we got to do it. We got to do it. You already know what's coming, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world? Why is America
not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer.
You're saying
Yes.
Let's talk about
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yet you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Still hits like a hammer to this day. And that series, I believe, 12 years ago would have been 2014. So right at the tail end of the Obama administration is when this series came out. And all the problems that we had back then, they've only compounded. They've only gotten worse since. We never addressed the problems that he rose. And by the way, he didn't mention everything that we talk about here, but a lot of the things that he mentioned in his little spiel there, they're all related to the economy, and they all circle back to the dollar. And also, the war stuff ties into this too, because part of the way that America props up its dollar is by extorting nations around the world and holding their resources. That's what the Petro-dollar was, still is. You can only get so far through fear and extortion, though. That only gets you so far. It only buys you so much loyalty. And the people who are under your thumb, the people that you're extorting, the people that you're threatening via military force, like, they're always going to be looking for a way out of that arrangement. Anybody in their right mind would. Any nation in their right mind would. This was never a long-term thing. That's why they're so terrified of Iran getting nuclear weapons. They don't want them to have the option of defending their own territory. Nuclear weapons is the only way that a nation can truly defend itself from America. Or another nation with nuclear weapons. Without, they don't really have a bargaining chip against us on as far as strategic options go. Now, I'm not saying I want them to have nuclear weapons. I'm just saying that's the reality of the situation in a nuclear armed world. If we really wanted to, if they really push the envelope, they know we could just turn them into a glass parking lot. Hell, we've been threatening to do it for long enough. There's an old thing amongst the firearm owners community, if you will. An armed society is a polite society. I think that was an armed society is a polite society. Locks keep people honest.
Yeah. Well, when guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns.
Yeah.
So when nuclear weapons are outlawed, only outlaws will have nuclear weapons.
Pretty much, yes.
What does that make us?
You know, and it's funny, North Korea's had nuclear weapons for, 20, 30 years now. And they've never used them on another country.
Realistically, what country has actually dropped nuclear weapons on another country?
America. We're the only ones, and yet we're also the arbiters of who can have them. Funny how that works, right? It's almost like there's an incentive to own nuclear weapons.
You think that's baked in?
You don't really got to use your brain too hard to figure this shit out, man. This is why rhino cons and warhawks will not have logical conversations with educated people on this topic.
They can't.
They will engage in character assassination. They'll call you an anti or ist or ism. They'll call you a peacenik, back in the day, peacenik, beatnik, whatever. The language changes, but the game really hasn't. It's been 100 years of this crap, and people are finally copping wise to it. Alex Jones, of all people, is now talking about the thing that got him into a kerfuffle with John Statmiller like 25 years ago.
25 years ago, yeah.
Like, dude, this is the exact thing that you had to blow up with John over and then stole all his advertisers on the way out the door over. Holy shit, man. I never thought I'd see the day, ever. Because I've been convinced for years that this guy has controlled opposition. Now I'm just thinking he was ignorant. Like, he willfully ignorant. He did not want to believe this stuff. He really did not want to believe this stuff because that's where his money depended on not believing in.
Work on an influence campaign to make people not believe the evidence of their own eyes and ears, right? So Matt Walsh tweets something that is obviously true. He tweets this. He tweets, grocery prices are insane. They're still rising. Addressing this problem should be the number one priority of every elected leader. End the stupid foreign wars and focus on this issue. It's one of the main reasons socialists are gaining power. Fact. Okay. Like, duh. And we recognize that we have just unlimited money when it comes to going to war, unlimited money when it comes to Ukraine, billions to Israel. We can just go, woo, let's go to the Hormuz Strait. And then when you wonder if we're going to get any tax refund, no, we don't have any money. We look at our prices around here. Nothing is getting better. And people are rightfully upset about that. So obviously the issue is that he mentioned the foreign wars and the neocons instantly had to get to work and explain this is not true. And actually their argument is that people just need to focus on making home-cooked meals. They need to stop eating out and recognize that you're just spoiled. If you are a person who thinks that their things are not affordable, it's because you're spoiled. We need our wars, but you're spoiled. Joel Berry, who I don't...
We're spoiled with being able to afford things like, I don't know, food.
Medicine.
Or gas.
Utility.
Or water. Yeah.
Now, I stopped eating out in the first Trump administration. So this is not a new thing for some of us. Okay. And it's not, it's just ridiculous that you should go and say these things. Why? Are you insane?
We now interrupt this program for a blast from the past.
Putin's invasion of Ukraine. We have to also remember Putin's war in Ukraine because Putin's price hike, Putin's unprovoked invasion, and also Putin's war and Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Putin's brutal war. Now remember, President Putin's price hike because of Mr. Putin's war. Putin's tax hike, and also just the Putin's tax hike. President Putin's also. We have to also remember.
We now interrupt this propaganda for some more propaganda.
They're anxious, and they're anxious for good reason. I was raised in a household when the price of gasoline rose precipitously. It was the discussion at the table. It made a difference when food prices went up. But we've never seen anything like Putin's tax on both food and gas. Unemployment rate is near historic lows. Millions of Americans are moving up to better jobs.
What did he say? Can I even replay that? That sounded like something I should edit out almost. But it came from his mouth, not mine, YouTube.
He's got somebody's hand up his mouth.
Millions of Americans are moving up to better jobs and better pay. And since I took office, families are carrying less debt on average in America. They have more savings than they've had We're doing it all while cutting the federal deficit by $1.7 trillion this year and $320 billion last. If I hear one of my MAGA friends once again talk about debt and deficits, I'm going to be good. They increased the deficit by $2 trillion. Anyway, that's another story. I have to admit to you, a lot of us elected officials have been in office for.
I have to admit to you, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
These are elected officials, right? He totally got elected. It was 100% legitimate. He won fair and square. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Suck it, MAGA. No matter who you vote for, you're getting screwed.
You're getting fucked. I'm sorry.
For a while. Every once in a while, something you learn makes you viscerally angry. Like if you had
Really? Please tell me more.
Person in front of you, you'd want to pop them. No, I really mean it. They have 20 million barrels. 20 million in their silos right now. So we're trying to help them to get that, and the Russians are blocking the export. They're not allowed out through the Black Sea, and we're trying to figure out how to get it out of the country to get to around the world, and we'll bring down prices. But there's more. There's more than one way to solve this problem. We're continuing working to bring down food prices and gas prices.
We're continuing to working to bring the prices down on the fuel to get there around the Black Sea. It makes about as much sense as Trump does nowadays. So, in retrospect, hindsight's 20/20. I got to look back on this and smile and say, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, really. Pretty much the same shit, just different word salad that we were being fed as to the reasons why we're doing the insane shit that we're doing.
Nuclear. Yeah, let's go back a little bit further and just listen to the same word salad from a different president.
Should we? Should we just make that the show? Let's go back in time. Let's, you know what? We might just do that. We might go back and look at some Biden and some Bush clips too.
Yeah, I take Obama. Yeah.
And save families' money by dealing with other items. But this is the MAGA gang. This is the MAGA crowd. I really mean it. They have a fundamentally different view of the role of government and who should pay what.
You know what? I think he was actually right on that one. But unfortunately, your administration behaved the exact same way. They just dressed it up differently.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this guy really did believe the things he was saying. It's possible with how geriatric that he was during his administration that he actually thought he was doing the right things.
Well,
he just
sure
bungled
was told
it.
He was doing the right thing by his hands for you.
Here we go. We got the auto pen. Never mind. You got the shaky Parkinson's hands.
Don't worry about it. We got it. We got this.
This is just full on fucking clown world, man.
Make sure that everybody knows Exxon's profits. Why don't you tell them what Exxon's profits were this quarter? Exxon made more money than God this year. And by the way, nothing's changed. And they're not, by the way, one thing I want to say about the oil companies. They talk about how they have 9,000 permits to drill. They're not drilling. Why aren't they drilling? Because they make more money not producing more oil. The price goes up, number one. And number two, the reason they're not drilling is they're buying back their own stock, which should be taxed, quite frankly, buying back their own stock and making no new investments. So I always thought Republicans...
Yeah, because at the time, you were incentivizing solar and wind. So they were reading the tea leaves. And I'm not even saying that was necessarily a good thing. That's just what capitalist America does. You didn't incentivize growth in the oil markets, and therefore the oil markets did not grow. That's how this works. By the way, by the same token, pun intended here, by the same token, the billions upon billions of dollars being pumped into the AI markets, the only people who are asking for that shit is the big tech companies themselves. It's a singularity of money. That's why that industry is growing. That and the military industrial complex are single-handedly fueling the rise of artificial intelligence and data centers. And the need for the surveillance state, which the state seems to be hyper-focused on right now because they're worried about the impending civil war that this economic situation is going to cause. They know that it's coming, and they want to mitigate the disaster in the future. So they're putting robot eyes on us now so they can mark all the agitators in the future for collection by the shock troops later.
Well, you've seen what's happening with Gorka, right? Everything now is domestic terrorism. So they can actually start rounding up the leftists right now as the target. But unfortunately, it's going to become anybody that is dissenting of the administration's policies. If you're not in line with us, you're a terrorist, and we can arrest you and put you in prison. So just know that up front, and of course know that we've got block cameras outside your house right now, knowing what you're doing. And by the way, that 5G, and the fiber that you have in your house and all that can see you inside your house, so don't worry.
Looking for investment. Exxon, start investing, start paying your taxes. Thanks. The insurrection on January 6th, one of the darkest chapters in our nation's history. A brutal assault
No, it wasn't.
on our democracy.
No, it wasn't.
Brutal attack on law enforcement.
No, it wasn't.
Some losing their lives.
No, they didn't.
We heard about it last night again.
Yes, we
It's
did.
important that the American people understand
No, it
what
isn't.
truly happened.
Yes, it is.
And to understand that the same forces that led January 6th remain at work today.
Pretty confused, yeah.
It's about our democracy itself. We have to protect.
We're not a democracy. We're a republic, constitutionally limited. Democracy is the problem.
Protect our democracy. I know it sounds corny to say it.
No, it sounds incorrect. It sounds incorrect, not corny. Corny would be like, my hair's in the pool, go sideways or some stuff, and corn pop, and I rode the bus both ways, and I carried a lunchbox. That's corny. Calling our country a democracy is inaccurate. Just because you're part of the Democratic Party, you got to say the word democracy 97 times every speech.
Raised in school, democracy every generation has to protect it. I have to admit to you, I never thought that it was going to be
There
this.
you go. You
You
never
never thought. Yes,
thought.
indeed.
So telling.
Yeah, you just stop right there. I never thought. Did he ever say the term here? I was looking for Putin's tax, but I guess we'll just go back to Karine for that one. I know he said it.
Did you ever get your tariff check, by the way?
Nope. Never did. Probably never will.
What tariff? What tariff? We don't have that money anymore.
We're supposed to. You know,
we put that in our pocket.
if we got a dividend on that tariff, we'd all be getting like $2 million a piece. And then the entire United States would collectively shut the fuck up about how bad the economy is for about
a week,
5 months, maybe. And, before the money ran out and inflation caught up with that. So I mentioned this last stream, and I felt bad that I did not include it in the stream when we were talking about the Tyler Robinson case. Diligent Denizen actually went to the UVU campus, and he walked up the same stairwell where we saw the footage of the alleged Tyler Robinson clone peg-legging up the stairs.
Yeah.
And remember, this is the one where you said, well, potentially they mirrored the imagery.
The stairway, yeah, because they actually cut out the timestamp, which is they shouldn't have been able to do, but whatever.
Diligent Denizen, link's gonna be in the description here. Go check this guy out, man. Follow his live streams. I would have recommended X, but X is fucked. Just watch his live streams on Google, YouTube rather.
Same thing.
All right, you guys, we caught the feds in another lie. So this is level 3, parking level 3 at UVU, where they have Tyler Robinson coming around the corner, coming down the stairwell. There's the camera right over here. But in the Fed version of their footage, this stairwell, which is actually on the left, on their version, it's on the right. So they have completely reversed this image. And not only have they reversed the image, they have also doctored the timestamps, because if you reverse the image, the timestamps would be reversed as well. So something ain't adding up here. Here's level 2, proving that the stairwell is actually on the left.
And if you look at where he supposedly went out, you're actually going in. They don't say that, but
Every single aspect of that case is fucked. If this guy gets the chair, laws mean nothing in this country anymore.
guess what? They haven't for a while.
And again, I'm not even saying that he's innocent. I'm just saying that the proof, the supposed overwhelming proof that the public has been shown on the Tyler Robinson case has not been convincing. And if you think that it's convincing, then you've spent zero time looking into this stuff. You're just uninformed.
Well, the problem is a lot of these people are taking the narrative as the evidence. That is not the case. You need to actually look at the physical evidence, not the narrative, because they're giving you a psyop. They're telling you what you're supposed to think, what you're supposed to see. That's not what the proof bears out. Open your eyes and take a look at what the evidence actually shows, and it is not what the narrative is.
Well, it's the interpretation. And by the way, the interpretation of the evidence that you're being fed from the media is largely the prosecution's interpretation of that evidence.
Well, the state's evidence.
The state's evidence, yeah.
Which in Utah, we can go by hearsay. What? Oh, wait a minute.
I have a feeling there's going to be new case law coming out of this thing. One way.
I don't think there really is going to be, because I don't think we're ever going to get to an actual case. I don't think it's going to go to trial. I don't think he'll never survive it. They can't put him on trial.
We'll find out.
It'll never hold up.
We'll find out. Diligent's actually alive right now, maybe.
And of course, that's how we get our freaking presidents now. Because they run up on the stage and they dance and they sing and they do their bit and make everybody happy, and it's bullshit.
Yes, brass band and limelight do more than a well-reasoned argument.
Let them eat cake in breads and circuses.
No, that's from I think that's from Edward Bernays' Crystallizing Public Opinion.
Jeez, I wouldn't know anything about that.
We don't learn these lessons because they don't teach it. They
Did
don't
you
want
know
you to know.
he actually was involved in the 1951 overthrow?
Sorry about that. I was trying to pull my clip down and I pulled you down.
No, that's
There we
fine. The CIA was backing the regime change in Guatemala, 1951, and Bernays actually was instrumental in that overthrow, which is very. I have some documents on that if you'd like to take a look at.
Well, I believe you.
Did you get a chance to actually read that article that I posted?
No.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, don't send stuff to my Proton account, man, because I never check it and it just gets buried unless it's like nuclear. Don't send me something there because I won't see it.
You'll never see it.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let's see what Diligent is up to while I'm fishing for that.
Yeah, I'd like to see. You had a good stream two nights ago, I think.
Well, this is from his live. He's live right now.
Yeah, audio.
I'd like to join in one of these, but my schedule, his schedule.
Yeah,
Good luck.
not going to happen.
Charlie Kirk, the entrenchment hasn't occurred yet, right? There's a lot of loose ends
You
with the
think?
Charlie Kirk operation that they were not able
You
to
don't
account
say.
for because something went critically wrong. That's what the evidence I have seen since I have been working this case on the ground and since I have been researching it, is that there was an operation here and that it's something critical went wrong, and they have been scrambling to try to reconcile those loose ends over the last year and have been unable to. And I think that we may see a kid get sacrificed as I think that we have an opportunity to prevent another human sacrifice here in a way that can unite us in a peaceful manner and set aside our differences and come together and demand real justice for Charlie and real justice for the American people in a way that we've never had before. Let's go to Dr. Strange and then Veritas.
Hey, Diligent. As I was hearing these entrapment cases, I couldn't help remember, but this other guy, his name is Craig Monteo. If anybody wants to look him up, it's a really interesting story. It's also somewhat funny because the guy he was a con man. He was caught with theft and I think forgery, and then the FBI used him as an agent provocateur as an informant to entrap people because he was very deceptive. So apparently he couldn't do it, and then he had a fallout with the FBI. So he sued the FBI. Now the case is all the way in the Supreme Court, and it's been going on for like 15 years. But this shit is not. It's not a one-off. I mean, this is like a steady.
Playbook.
I would say it's like a routine, systematic way
Playbook.
of trying to entrap people.
Playbook.
Yes, and this is actually one of the things that Cal Seraphin has talked about, and a good
And Steve
clip.
Friend as well.
Yeah, a good clip that I've brought up constantly, and he has actually pushed Trevor Aronson's book, is Trevor Aronson's TED Talk on the FBI terror factory.
Right.
And, the story of Sami Osmakash and Wali Mujahid and other guys that were basically entrapped by the FBI. Almost the entire operation was handed to them by federal informants, assets, or feds themselves. The means and the opportunity, if not the motive, and if not the inciting argument to, hey, we've got some Stinger missiles in a Costco container. Like, this stuff's been going on, and a lot of it has to do with the mandate that was handed down to the feds after 9/11. This was the ostensible justification for basically every dirty, underhanded tactic. I mean, it's not like it wasn't going on before then either.
No. I mean, it's been going on since its inception. It just is grown to such a proportion that they've got to cover it up. They can't let people know that's what they've been doing all this time. Sorry, I have my own opinions of that, but.
No, it's all right. Knowing Diligent's audience, he might be about to mention it too. So let's find out.
Yeah.
And this guy couldn't do it, and then he had to fall off. I would highly recommend if anybody wants to look up his case. His name is Craig Monteo, and the kind of shit that he actually engaged in to try and entrap people. So it's really unfortunate when your own taxpayer money is actually used against you to pursue an agenda and objective. It saddens me, and I understand your pain when you say that we've lost a lot of our sovereignty, or I guess our government not working for you. The other question I had was regarding, there are a lot of people who are interested in actually attending the trial in Utah. They want to essentially create some sort of a protest, peaceful protest, where they have signs.
No. I'm sorry, no. No. And the reason why I'm saying this, the feds have to be just salivating, waiting for this kind of thing to happen. When it was inevitable that people started talking about this shit, this is the worst possible idea that I could think of at this moment.
Well,
because it will be co-opted.
Is it not a setup for the play that they've already run on January 6th?
This is the exact cover they need for some Jack Ruby to step forward and do what he did to Tyler Robinson. This is the exact setup they need for that kind of shit to unfold, or for them to kick off some AstroTurf riots. And while that's going on, they'll just go ahead and shuffle this guy down death row real quick. Absolutely not. And by the way, demonize the right, demonize everybody questioning the war going on over in the Middle East and Ukraine and everything. They'll wrap everything all into one. You know, we've got these guys that are brainwashed by Iran, and they're gun nuts, and they're vaccine deniers, and they're Candace Owens zombies, and we need to do something about it. And good thing we have these flock cameras all over the place.
Oh, and by the way, you have a device in your pocket.
Idea.
You have a government device in your pocket that knows everything you say and do, and every place you go and everything you look at.
About like the picture that you posted of the two pictures, right? Tyler Robinson and the other picture that's supposed to be Tyler Robinson, which is twice as big as him, essentially focusing on the Fed slob narratives, questioning it. Where they're hoping that they could have like a few hundred people, if not at least at best a few thousand people, to ensure that there's some sort of that the attorneys, the judge,
Sounds
and
like an
everybody
invitation to have a movement hijacked by feds and turned into something that it's not.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that is.
You
that
win
is
the prize,
possible.
Johnny. This is why I love this guy. No homo, diligent. This guy is on the ball.
He's on the mark.
That's not even 5 seconds later. I paused it, man. He was just right on top of that shit. No.
Yep. He knew what the story is. So, I mean, we all do. I mean, those of us that are in the know this is not the way. I mean, first of all, where are you going to get 1,000 people that are going to take off their job, not one of the 5 that they're working, to go to this trial and stand around with protest signs? This ain't going to happen.
Absolutely.
It could be leftists unless they crowdsource it, and that could happen. Crowds on demand.
You're just going to peel off all the people who have ostensibly made it in life and have them fuck their life up for this. I understand the sentiment, and I think that, you know, if
this is not the leverage we need.
No.
This is not the way to get what we need done. Sorry, not happening.
That's not going to it's not going to produce a desired result. I'm not even sure what that desired result is.
Well, at this point,
honesty from the judicial system, a second look at this thing and the facts. Do you really think it's going to produce that? I mean, best case scenario, what does that look like?
I mean, if you look at where this evidence is actually coming from, how far up the chain do you think this goes? And you're going to tell me we have any leverage over any of this?
He is obviously having an effect, or they wouldn't be attacking him like they are. His constant problems on X with his account and the streams, and apparently he's gotten death threats and other things as well. So yeah, this guy's definitely over the target, and he is having an impact. And also folks like Candace Owens and Baron Coleman that will not say his name, but they'll reference his work. Come on, guys. Come on.
Well, I'm having a real problem right now with gatekeepers. I'm seeing that. I'm all over the place tonight.
So am I. I just keep getting derailed. I don't know. I'm just upset. I'm upset that the real problems in this country are not being properly addressed. And, you know, it'd be one thing if it was just me. I'm the crazy guy on the internet. You know, this is only a problem in my head. But you see all these other people talking about this shit too.
Well,
and it's obvious.
10 years ago, that was the story. Because we were 2 crazy guys on the internet. And everybody else was ostensibly not paying attention. Now these people have got their eyes open and they're all saying the same line. They
Yes.
all know the story. Nothing's changed in 10 years. It's only gotten worse.
Like I said before we started this stream, millennials tried to live like their Gen X parents did. Drinking, partying, illicit stuff. And the digital age caught up with us, and the consequences that used to be, what do you call it? Temporary passing, social consequences that came with that type of behavior suddenly became permanent on the digital sphere. And now you just can't live like that anymore. And then also behind that came the economic repercussions of shifting our entire industrial base over to foreign countries and devaluating our currency to the tune of 40% in under 5 years. And all of a sudden, you can't even afford to booze it up anymore because we can't afford the health care that you're definitely going to need when you get the beaties. And, I calculated it out. I was spending $250 a month on booze.
Oh.
And I'm not really that heavy of a drinker.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's light, but
Yeah, that's from beer, which is probably the worst thing for you, really, because of all the fucking.
See, when I was going down that road, I had an issue because not only did I have the drinking problem, I had the gambling problem. So I'd get drunk and I'd go gamble, and I would lose my entire paycheck on a Friday night on payday, and then I got to go 2 weeks without a paycheck. So.
Yep. I did that too. My first year in the Navy, I was on those online gambling sites before it was made illegal.
Illegal, yeah.
And I did that once. And after I blew one paycheck doing that, well, I'm never doing that again. Thankfully, I never did.
I couldn't say that.
Thankfully, I learned that lesson real quick. But
and the other problem, I had a real affinity for stripper bars, so. That's some really nice bars in Virginia. So it was really bad because there was one particular stripper that my buddy and I would particularly go just to watch her. What's really bad, one day we were both coming back from going to the grocery store and we were walking up to our apartment and found out she lived in our apartment complex.
Oh,
she's
awkward.
laying out she's laying out in the yard sunning herself. And I'm just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we all went through that time period where we were wild and free, and we did all really the stupid things. And I guess probably it's a good thing that people aren't able to do those stupid things anymore, because it's really not a good thing for you. You'll learn. I guess I learned a lot from that experience, and I grew up quite a bit quickly, but I don't think that's the best way to do it. And
no,
there are repercussions from going through that. You have all kinds of trauma that you have to deal with. And
well, the thing is, I think it's because I hit rock bottom or pretty close to it earlier than my contemporary millennials because of all the bad decisions that I made. I'm not saying that my millennial whatever, guys and gals within my age range didn't also make dumb decisions, but I'm saying because I made so many compounding decisions so quickly that the economics caught up with me faster than it did them. So a lot of those guys are just now realizing the shit that I realized 10 years ago because I fucked up so bad. Because unlike our Gen X parents, if you made monumental mistakes and stuff, you'd have to pay a consequence for that financially or otherwise. But the margin for error was larger because devaluation hadn't hit as hard as it did later on. So you could rebound much faster back then than you can now. A home back in your day was like a third of the cost that it is today. And it's the same down the line for everything else. Food, rent, insurance probably cost you what, $20 a month.
Well, insurance was another issue because that is a con. I'm sorry. It doesn't, there's no need for insurance because it doesn't really do anything. It just makes the insurance companies money. It was expensive, and especially when you're at that younger age, when you're in your 20s, because you're a risk, and so they charge you a lot more for your insurance. But even as I got older, the insurance did not. I didn't go down; it stayed the same.
All right. Well, that's my point is that you had a larger margin for error than we did, and that produces problems. But it also gave me a burning desire to figure out why things were so fucked. Unfortunately, I didn't unfuck my own life until many years later. I'm still in the process of doing that right now. But
I'm still working on it.
In that process, I was able to learn things about this country's history, the mechanics of money, our political system, stuff like that. Things I never would have looked into before. If things were good, like if my life didn't become screwed up, if I was able to, live the American dream, whatever that is, I never would have looked into this stuff. I never would have had the incentive to do so. And I think that's what's going on. Like the Freddie Smith clip that we played earlier, this is one of several in this series of outcries to the boomer generation to get their head screwed on right. They're not gonna, unfortunately. And the guys that are gonna listen to that, the guys that message is gonna resonate with, are the ones that are getting fucked over by this too, which really all of us are. It's not just Gen Z or the alphas or the millennials or anybody else. Like we're all getting screwed equally. It's just I'd say early millennials and Gen X felt the pinch before the boomers did because they had accumulated less assets and less market share because they've just been around. We haven't been around as long.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Almost wiped out.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Now, time is your greatest real adversary in life or your greatest real asset, depending on how you look at it. Your perspective has a lot to do with it. But you can't get time back, and you can't do without experience. You have to get the experience to learn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're right. You guys didn't really get that margin of error that we had, and I'm sorry for that. But it's a failure of the system.
I can't hear you, man.
Sorry, it's a failure of the system. It's not. It had nothing to do with a particular group. It wasn't the boomers that fucked it up. Although a lot of the boomers are the ones that are in charge.
If we want to blame a generation, it was the silent generation that failed to shut down the paper money system before it got into effect. If we want to blame anybody, but nobody's going to do that because that's the same generation that went over and beat Hitler's ass into the dirt.
No.
So,
but that was also the group that brought Operation Paperclip in. So,
we all have our share of sins to bear, unfortunately. Evil cuts through the heart of every man, and every generation has had failures. It's just compounded over the years because it's never been properly addressed. It doesn't mean it can't be.
How does evil succeed?
When good men do nothing.
There you go. And guess what? There are a lot of good men doing nothing for a long time.
I thought about trying to start a petition to get off fiat money. But you know what? I'm not an economist and I don't know what system to recommend. I always recommend a basket currency, but
I'm good with that.
Some greater minds might be able to come in behind and actually build out a system that would work.
A better system. I think there are some economists that actually have some ideas. unfortunately, it's the we're not allowed to communicate across party lines, or I guess it's not necessarily party lines anymore, but
Yeah,
they can't really talk to one another because everybody has their own garbage, I guess.
this really was the Charlie Kirk assassination. Really was our Martin Luther King Jr. moment,
It was.
where you're having
JFK.
I still have on tapes that are recorded of Diligent's earliest spaces after that took place, because that's when I first got introduced to Diligent Denizen.
Yeah.
And it floored me, the interactions that he was having with hardcore liberals, talking about stuff and a reasoned debate fashion, just sharing ideas. And
but that's
the
what
disbelief.
That's what Charlie instilled in in this sliding generation.
Yes.
This window of humanity is that we can have we can disagree, but we can have discussion and be able to talk about these things civilized.
Yeah.
And not have pull a gun on everybody, I mean, ostensibly,
Yes.
but and I think you're seeing a lot of change since this happened. These people that were so complacent and so blind to what really has been going on around us for the last 50 years are now waking up, and I'm seeing that so much. These people are really hungry for the knowledge that you and I have been putting out here for the last 10 years. They want to know what we know.
It's incredible, man. I knew when, I don't know at what point it was, but at some point, in his spaces, I realized that this had started a movement. And I'm not even talking about Candace Owens.
No.
Candace Owens just bandwagoned onto this thing and snowballed it into something else.
Yeah.
I'm not disparaging her, and I'm also not a Candace everything she says is correct guy either.
Yeah.
She sensed the public, the pulse of the public on this issue and what it was doing to the zeitgeist, and where it was going, where it has gone since. Because if these motherfuckers that whacked CK thought that killing him would cause his ideals to fizzle out, they wildly miscalculated what that was going to. They turned his mindset into an ideology, into a movement,
into a culture.
And I don't think the people that are part of this even realize that they're part of something like that.
No,
but they are.
They don't.
So this isn't like a cult. This is a mentality framework shift that's happening on a social level, at a societal level.
It's the awakening that we've heard about for so many years.
Yes.
It's actually happening.
Fucking Alex Jones is now talking about this stuff. He never used to touch this.
Yeah.
For that guy to jump the shark finally, after almost 3 decades of turning a blind eye to the shit going on over in the Middle East, in this one particular area, to talk about everything else. They're putting stuff in the water, turning the frogs gay. They UFOs and all this other crazy shit. They'll talk about basically anything except for that. And then all of a sudden, CK gets whacked, and then a year later, flips on a dime. Took you long enough, Alex. Welcome to the party, man.
Okay, but I mean, it's so obvious. Why? How can he not realize the situation? He has to read the room. He has to know what we've all been saying, and it's just an awakening. I guess people are suddenly going, I'm realizing what the hell's going on, and I'm tired of the bullshit. Breaking news: governments lie.
You don't say.
That is my first T-shirt that's going out, buddy.
Yeah. Breaking news. Yes, they broke the news. It's broken. It's been broken for a while. That's okay, because now the independent journalists have pretty much taken over the scene.
Well, they've co-opted everything, so
for whatever it's worth, and for all
right
the
now it's not
good,
worth a lot, but
for all, well, with all the good and the ills that come with the general public taking over any scene, and
anything, yeah. We've seen it happen in a lot of areas, but yeah.
but at the very least, it feels like we've got a semblance of honesty that's happening in this space. So even the people that are saying things that aren't necessarily accurate are at least giving us their actual opinions.
Well, what it's actually developed into is that we're not accepting the story that they're telling, the stories, quote unquote, they're telling us.
Yeah.
We want evidence. You've got to give us empirical proof of what you're telling us. And so far, you've not done that.
No.
There's no empirical anything. And when you have a flying screwdriver, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Those kind of things don't line up, and logic fails. Hello, ding ding ding.
Owen Benjamin actually picked up on the same thing that I did, that you and I did with the Andrew Wilson saying a bullet could split apart in the air. He's like, what? I saw his post earlier today on that. It was fucking hilarious. I keep meaning to tag him with the clip from our video. I need to do that later.
Yeah, you do. Well, I'll hold that for later. That one I just can't imagine. And if he was a gunsmith, he's saying he's a gunsmith, and he's taught gun classes. How do you pull that out of your ass, man?
His brain is slogged. He's an alky.
No, it's not that. He's on the payroll.
Well, maybe, yeah. Where'd that $300K come from? I doubt
it wasn't from crowdsourcing.
Yeah, I very much doubt
that.
It wasn't
a GoFundMe. It wasn't a GoFundMe, I guarantee you.
If it was, it's the very last GoFundMe he's ever going to be able to fund.
Well, yeah.
That's it, man. You should have seen his Cope stream yesterday. Brittany Venny, I sent you the
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Oh, dude, it's fucking brutal, man. And she even points out he sounds like the quartering, and he does. Sounds like the Cope stream.
He does.
The Keno guys ragging on him. It's like, brother, it's time to hold the L. I just, and she played some of his other clips from whatever that I hadn't heard before, and I'm like, yeah, I no longer identify with this guy at all. Things that I will not repeat, even though they are on this platform somehow and haven't gotten stricken down. I am not repeating that shit because
stricken.
This channel will be stricken.
Yeah, poverty stricken.
Poverty stricken. 100%, man. Like I said, and this is how you can always spot the controlled opposition guys, because they can say shit like that and their channels stay up. But if we do it, instant gone. Gone. You're gone. That's why I don't say the C word on here. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. I know. But
rules
that's
for
my
thee,
whole
rules for me.
I know. But that's my whole bit, man. And I really took that from Charlie. Question everything. That's don't stop asking questions. You've got to have a discourse. You've got to be able to talk these things through and prove to me. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And so far, they've not done so.
Prove your argument to me. Let me see why you believe what you ostensibly believe.
Let me ask you a question.
If I can't reach the conclusion that you've reached based off the evidence that you're providing, one of two things is going on. Either you've got more information that you're not sharing with me, or you're trying to mislead me. Or, well, three things. Or you're not, your brain's not,
You're lying for a reason.
Everybody thinks different. No two people see the world the same way.
Okay. Everybody grieves differently.
Okay. Well, okay, I'm not going to that one. Then.
Don't go down that lane.
I'm not going.
Let me ask you a question. Were you involved in debate in high school?
No.
I was. And I can tell you, what went on the other day was not a debate. Matter of fact, none of the debates I've seen in the last 20 years have actually been debates. They don't work that way anymore.
Let me pull this up. I wasn't going to do this, but I do have her on the playlist. So let's see. Brittany, I hope you're not Striker. I don't think she will be, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we have to take it out, whatever. I really do want to see it.
did you want to finish your point before I play this? Or
No. That's good. When you say debate, what went on was not a debate. It was a one-sided smackdown.
No. How familiar are you with Andy Worski and Tonka Saw's original stream, Internet Blood Sports?
A little, not
the kill
like
stream.
in depth. Yeah, not in depth. What were you going?
I'm saying that's the argumentation style is Internet Blood Sports, and she actually brings this up here, but I don't think she would know because she has actually been on the IBS stream, so and been the topic of it, of course, too.
Yeah. I didn't know that, but okay.
And I'm sorry, man. I don't simp often, but when I do, it's for Brittany Van. Oh my god, dude.
Well, I was just sitting here looking at it. And I was going to make a comment, and I decided against it.
For Andrew Wilson in the debate with Candace Owens that he paid her $300,000 to do, he said in the interview that all women were retarded.
Would you like to explain how you developed your evidence, your positive evidence for the fact that Erica was retarded?
Yeah, sure. So I just think all women are retarded.
Oh, so you're allowed to just say stuff. Who knew?
And he's like, haha, all women are retarded. And then he paid Candace Owens $300,000. Not only that, but he embarrassed himself by not being able to name a single charge for the Charlie Kirk Robinson case.
That's
just all right. Can you tell me one
Then let's do the
charge?
counter. You can really, this is a great gotcha.
No. You just got to ask me, play clips out of context, put me in the hot seat. So please just answer the question.
This is fair. Name all 7 since you've been following the case.
Okay, sure. You name one.
Yeah, you named all 7.
I'm happy to do that, but can you name one?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay, great. Now name all 7.
He doesn't even. It's just like
name all 7.
And I
can you name all 7?
I can.
Then do it.
Sure, you don't have to
do it. No, do it. I'll count them. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is IBS strategy pattern.
Yeah.
Pattern break.
I'm not going to answer the question.
Okay,
you're just going to recognize that your strategy of thinking that people are intimidated when you try to put a time constraint doesn't work, and you'll be better the next time you debate someone. Great.
Keep in mind, as he's unable to name the specific charge, that this is a debate that he paid $300,000 to do about if this guy did the murder of Charlie Kirk or not. And he doesn't even know what he was charged with, like a basic fact.
The second charge is the felony discharge of a weapon. The next 2 charges are for obstruction of justice.
Okay.
The next 2 charges are for witness tampering. And
what's the specific charges, though?
That is them. Obstruction of justice, witness tampering.
Okay, and there's no other specifics.
Well, I can tell you why he's being charged.
Why is it doing that? Clicking means pausing, YouTube. I don't know. It's confusing. And now I forgot my point because YouTube did a thing. Thanks, YouTube.
Well, no, he was talking about is that all there is? Is that all there is? Is that the actual charge? Well, yes, that's the actual charge. But if you want to know the reason why that's the charge, that's not the same thing.
He's like, oh no. I don't want to get that felted. I'm gonna skip this since we already covered it last stream, anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. And she makes fun of his teeth. We're gonna skip over that too. So this is Andrew Wilson. He sells debate courses. Now I'm guessing that the stock price on this is
suddenly gone to fractional.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd buy the dip on this one, folks.
It is not classical debate style. I have no clue where he thinks that he can teach debate because this is not what this debate is about. I'm sorry. I mean, this is what 40 years ago when I was in doing debate, but I went through the process and I know how it works, and that ain't it works. So yeah.
DebateUniversity.com.
Well, he got hired by TPUSA to teach their people how to debate. Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to work really well, isn't it?
How to debate like a douchebag.
Are they getting their money back now?
I'm sorry. All he had to do was let her finish a fucking sentence. It was so annoying listening to that crap. This is what leftists do too. You're using leftist debate strategy. I'm not saying that it's unique to leftist. Obviously, he's a right winger.
No.
It's just annoying. Let him speak.
It sounds like Tate, his university on how to debate. Well, what are you getting from it? Is it worth it? He says, sick of not being able to defend your positions, tired of your arguments getting undermined by slimy debate tactics. With our debate courses, you'll learn everything you need to know in order to dominate any argument or informal debate. So, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Excuse me. It's looking pretty bad when you're like, I'm selling you this course to ethically own everybody ever, and then you can't name a single charge, and then Candace ends up naming all 7, which, by the way, he refuses to concede to. During that clip, he even says, Candace, she had someone texted on her phone. She gets her phone, and it's checked.
When you pulled out your phone, just before you asked that question, did somebody
here we
text you that question?
You can check my phone.
I'm just curious.
No, you can absolutely not. I have not had one communication with a single person.
That fucking smile, man.
Not even my producers who are in there this whole time we were here. You want to check my phone? I'm happy to do it because you're just going to get double embarrassed. Where's my phone?
You want to see it? I'm just curious. Yeah.
You can literally do that. Here you go. PBD, you're the moderator. Take it.
Let's see
See
it.
if anyone was texted at all during this debate.
I'm looking through this. You give me permission.
See the look on his face? Is like, am I really fucking doing this, man? It's like, seriously, we're doing this juvenile, petty shit in a professional debate setting, which at this point he had to realize this is not a professional debate.
But you've seen his face throughout, and he went from somewhat confident to like, oh my God, am I actually going through this?
I have full permission to go through my phone. I don't need to cheat.
So the last one has nothing to do with it. It's just a compliment.
Mm-hmm. And you know, their text could have been Telegram, could have been something.
All I have is Signal. You can check that too.
God, just will not
I only have
fucking
Signal.
drop it.
Telegram I used in Russia. And that was a download.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I don't
why
need
the
to
fuck bring
I
it
deeply
up,
care about
you
this case. I don't need to
dumbass?
pretend to know stuff that I don't.
Can't take an L, which is a great personality trait of a debater. His course is called Welcome to Verbal Combat. Yeah, it has to be verbal combat because you're fat. Yeah, we know you're not doing any real combat. Just so we're on the same page here about his sloppy wife's cooking that has 2,000 calories a meal, which is why they're both overweight. Why would anybody listen to you? Not only that, he calls his own wife a 6 out of 10.
Where's my wife fall? Well, she falls right in at average, just slightly above average.
So the best you can do is getting a 6 out of 10, according to his own words. Like 2 marriages, 3 different baby daddies, 5 kids between them. That's the best you can do, but we should listen to your advice. We should listen to how.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I got to do my best, Mike Stokasa.
I'm sorry, she really looks like a winner, doesn't she?
Dude.
How you live and see you as the ideal masculine guy, and she's the peak feminine woman. Meanwhile, she's yelling and screaming, keep shaking, bitch, keep crying, bitch. Burnt the most calories she's probably burned in the last 10 years in that one instance. I don't know if Rachel sells courses. I didn't check, but she does. Like you get the these are the Wilson's debate style. Just a little highlight again. Like you get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
She's a mother.
Welcome to the Springer Show.
Get the fuck out, bitch.
If you're gonna be in the industry,
always get basically like, don't put your hand.
They just taken their marriage style and put it into courses. That's how they live their lives. They just bitch at each other.
I mean, you got to admit they're made for each other.
Well, they are, but I mean that is not what you teach someone to better their lives. I'm sorry.
All right, I got to end it here because it's getting late. Yeah, Brittany Venny, check out the rest of her clip. It's fucking hilarious. She tears Andrew Wilson a new one from a perspective only an educated woman could do.
Yeah.
Only a black queen could provide this kind of entertainment, and yeah. Why can't I? Okay, there we go. There's the button.
There you go.
I can do tech stuff. What a fucking roller coaster tonight has been, man. I don't know if it's the energy drinks or just, pent up frustration from not being able to do this for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of. I really am sorry for kind of going off the rails, but I'm not sorry. So.
That was the whole show. We just went off rails on a crazy train, and I don't know. These tend to be our best episodes anyway. So
I think
we'll
so.
do it live like we always do.
Good luck. I go back to the thing of people are telling me, you really should be doing a podcast.
If you
You don't
only
even
knew.
know, man.
If you only knew.
You should be on a podcast. Yeah, okay, whatever.
All right, I'm out of here, man.
I've
seen the face of God.
I'm done.
We're done. Cooked, done, burnt.